Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. We're going to go over the daily technical analysis update for gold and silver. Looks like we had a pullback in gold today and the overall precious metals. We'll take a look. My thesis, again, I'm just going to go over it real quick, is that we're in an expansion phase of real estate. We're just starting it, which is going to be inflationary. That's what we've seen in history. Gold usually lags that move a little bit, maybe even a year. So we are early to this party. We're just starting to come up, but inflation was kind of, we'll call it, thrown into the system before it from COVID. So it's a weird dynamic. So I do think that the inflation from the money that was printed in from COVID is transitory, but it's going to last for like a year or two. Then I think what's going to sustain inflation is the expansionary phase of real estate. And I don't think people understand the relationship between an expansionary phase of real estate, interest rates, and inflation. In history, if you look at expansionary phases of real estate, we had one in the 1970s, very inflationary. We had a smaller one, which was artificial from 2000 to 2008. And then we have another one that's coming from 2020 onward. And we're just starting to get into that expansionary phase. We're not building a ton of new homes. We're just kind of getting into it and accelerating upward. So we're just entering that, quote, inflationary phase, which has lagged a little bit by about a year or two. So in this analysis, we're going to go over the dollar, the 10-year, and go through all of the precious metals and related equities. So here we go. Again, this is just my financial opinion. It is not advice. So let's get into it and give you my opinion. So here's a rare sighting. We've got a dollar that was substantially lower today, 0.43% lower. And gold looked like it was ready to take off, and then it sold off. So I think we still have some more time. And I do think gold and silver, they will account for the money going up. They will account. Just give it time. This is a patience game. Now we're at 93.06. So we came back down all the way to here. And we'll see if this thwarted this move higher. Again, if I were to throw in there's the line there that we have to break to the upside for it to mean that we've actually broken. Kind of look like that. Broke out to the downside. We coming back up, and then we sold off today to 93.06. Let's. If you look at this, this was a big. It opened up a little bit and then went down. So I think we're going to actually have a bearish piercing candlestick pattern here, signaling that we could head lower. But we'll see what happens over the next couple of days, trading days. Looking at the 10-year yield, we have a massive move higher, 5.54%. I think that rates are going to go higher. That's what I've been preaching on the channel. And again, obviously, guys, that's just my opinion. But we broke the downtrend there. We chilled out for a little bit, and we're breaking higher. I don't think they can hold rates lower. I don't think they can hold rates low. They're going to have to buy so many bonds, it's going to be ridiculous. I mean, everyone's just going to offload on them. So I think eventually rates are going to go up. And if they go up, we're going to go into... They always go up during an expansionary phase of real estate. Almost always. Every time in history, they've gone up. If these go up, it's going to cause a rotation of money out of stocks and bonds eventually. There's going to be some pain point up here, and I don't know where it's at, but it's probably around this area up here. Is my initial guess. Because that's when things started to get all funky with stocks, was right in this area. And then all of a sudden, we went lower. We'll see what happens. Here's TNX on a weekly candlestick chart, a little bit longer term. I'm going to get out of here and show you guys. And the reason I'm putting in these trend lines is I want to show you how I'm drawing things. I'm looking for patterns. I mean, obviously, we broke this one. And now we're working on this other one up here, and I just touched these guys. And I think we're going to take a run at it and try to break through it right now. We've got our symmetry here as well. We came down and then we came back, just like this little wing over here. We'll call this a wing as well, and we're starting to come back up. Here's gold. Gold was sold off today. Down day today. We still have these big down candlesticks everywhere. And the up days aren't as big, which means we have more selling pressure than we have buying pressure. That's what that means. So we are going to continue lower in the short term until I see this change. Silver's the same way. We are going to continue lower by looking at these large candlestick days peppered all throughout, which means that I think we are going to continue to head lower until I see the buying pressure step in and change the dynamic of those candlesticks. I have not seen it yet. I thought that perhaps we could see it right here with this bullish engulfing. We were coming on up, we broke the downtrend, and then we got smoked again. Every time we try to make a move upward, the sellers come in and sell it off. It's just not its time yet. We got to be patient. And we got nice, good buying pressure here in platinum down here. Small little down day. We call this a bloody nose when it's standing next to a tall white candlestick. It looks like a guy with a bloody nose. Let's see if we can push this thing higher. And it looks like, if you look at the trend line here, that we broke the trend line and we are remaining above that line here. And I'd almost argue that the line is more like down here, because that's where the majority of trades were hitting. So that one looks pretty good in comparison to gold and silver, at least. Now, GDX looks like it's selling off. It looks like it's wanting to go lower. I know there's a support line right underneath here. We might be breaking through it. So let's look at the long-term perspective here. I'm going to throw in a line here. I'd even say that it's right there and that we're breaking out. Now, be careful here because we do have some support underneath here. There's a bunch of support. Let's see if this thing can reverse tomorrow or next week. Or if we're just going to break down. Here's SILJ. SILJ, this one has a little wick at the bottom. Looks like support's holding. Let's zoom this out a little bit. There it is zoomed out. What I'm looking for is support in here. We're right there at support. In this region in here has support. We're going to be using that support right now. So let's see what happens. Again, we are in a definite strong downtrend. We need something to reverse it and move it on higher. And we haven't seen that yet. There's no evidence of a reversal yet in SILJ. Well, there is this. There is evidence. Just hold on. On the short term, we did break this downtrend. So on the short term, we did break this downtrend here. And in the long term, we got to see if this thing can hold at this support level and reverse it higher. So there is evidence. Here's EXK. This one doesn't look like it wants to go lower. We've got a little wick at the bottom. It looks like it's sold off today, but some buyers came back and bought it up a little bit. This doesn't look to me like this is just going to blow out to the downside. And hopefully I don't eat my words and have it blow out to the downside here. But it doesn't look horrible to me. It looks actually like it's putting in a bottom is what it looks like to me. And AG, it looks a little different, but it looks like the support's holding at the moment. Looking at the candlesticks in here, whenever you have these big candlestick up days like this is a bullish engulfing. This is a bullish engulfing almost. I mean, it looks like it's trying to put in a bottom to move up. But we can see that when the buyers tried buying it up, sellers came in and sold it off this day. They sold it off this day as well. Like we're trying to move up, but we keep hitting sellers. And these sellers, they're hanging around. They need to get out of here. They just stick around like they're these unwanted sellers here. We broke this downtrend, and usually you get rewarded buying in this area. But I don't see the strength in the overall silver market in terms of silver pricing. It's dumbfounding a little bit. And here's AG kind of on a longer term perspective. And what I did is I said, you know what, let's back this out. Let's back it out. Let's back it out even more. And what I'm looking for is where are the big trend lines. Now, this guy was ready to break here, and we came back. That is definitely a funky scenario. I thought we were ready to go. That's my opinion. And then we've got like these other trend lines here. Looks like there's something going on here. And we're right there, and we're going to see if we can. I mean, there's our support right there. Coming on up. Are we going to break down or move on up? I thought for sure we were going to break up right here. And it looks like whomever thwarted this move and brought it down. Obviously, we broke the one down here, but that's what it looks like at the moment. Hecla Mining has a massive, massive pattern. And that's what it looks like zoomed out. It looks like we're kind of coming back below this line right here. This is considered a retest or back test, and usually you get rewarded buying in these areas as long as it turns and heads on up. But that's a massive pattern break when this thing breaks. It broke it, it came back. Let's see if this holds and moves on higher. But that's a huge pattern. I mean, the expected move out of this is massive. I mean, it's going to be way up here. Here's Hecla on the short term. Again, this looks like it's trying to put in a bottom to me. By looking at these small down days, buyers equal to sellers, candlesticks on the bottom, little wicks. This looks like it wants to go up, not down, in my opinion. Now, Franco-Nevada looks, on the other hand, like it wants to head lower still. Bearish engulfing here. I would say it probably wants to head lower. Same with wheat and precious metals. Both bearish engulfing, probably going to head lower. It headed lower. And again, the momentum's to the downside here. And we could probably pick up maybe shares down here if you guys are patient. Platinum Group Metals. I know some people were talking about this one. I do own a little bit in it, not a lot. But it looks like we're coming to some support here. There's your support. On top of this, I'm looking for volume underneath it. A lot of the volume's over here, so the volume came up and bought at these prices. And we're coming on down, and this would probably be, I mean, if you guys are brave, this would be the time to start looking for a potential bottoming move to pick up some shares. Impala Platinum looks like it's trying to put in a bottom, bullish engulfing on a weekly candlestick basis, so this one looks pretty good if you like Impala Platinum. And then Anglo American Platinum looks like it's okay, but I'd like to see some more upside buying pressure before diving into it. But it doesn't look horrible, but it also doesn't look great. We could. I'm just looking underneath here. I mean, we could go all the way down to here, which is quite a bit below it. I mean, this could come down to $12 if something falls out. Just to show you. And Metallic Minerals, looking at this guy, this is a small silver exploration company, bullish engulfing here. Another big bullish engulfing here, and the sellers they're small down days compared to the big up day. This looks like it's trying to turn around, but we're still in a downtrend. We're still in a downtrend. It's getting cheap. And Aftermath Silver looks like it's trying to put in a bottom right here. I like it here. This looks good to me. The downtrend's broken. These are small silver companies, guys, so they do carry some risk. That's for sure. The downtrend's broken. And sometimes they pull back like this. And this is the time where I like to buy a little bit if you guys like Aftermath Silver. This is where I would be buying myself. And I haven't bought any. I'm probably not going to buy any, but if I'm going to buy it, I would buy it right there, right now. That's what I would do. It's not advice, just my financial opinion. So don't hold me to it, but that's what I see in the overall sector. Gold did sell off pretty hard today. The overall continuous contracts, gold and silver, they still look weak. I want to see the buyers come in and lay down some fat, big old candlesticks on the upside, and then small sell-off of sellers. It's like every time we try getting moving, sellers come in and sell it off. So that's what I'm seeing in the charts. I know some of you guys obviously think gold's manipulated and silver is manipulated, and some of these chart patterns do look quite suspicious. I agree with it, especially when you got the dollar going down today and gold going down. and as large as it went down, a little suspicious there. I agree with that. We got the 10-year going up. I think that increasing interest rates while also having negative real rates is going to be positive for gold. I'll say that again. Increasing 10-year yield rates is a positive for gold so long that inflation is outpacing it and staying ahead of it, which I think we're going to be in that environment very soon. That environment is good for precious metals, it's good for commodities, and we should see oil start to work its way into consumer price index and raise the prices of everything. Oil's the number one commodity. Oil's been on a tear. It's been heading on higher. Obviously, if you're on the channel, I'm a massive oil bull. Oil, natural gas, uranium, I'm an energy bull to the max. Energy is an input cost, and also oil is the number one commodity. So it's in everything that we use. So eventually, higher prices of oil are going to work their way through the entire supply chain and into products, increasing the price of consumer price index. So inflation's going to go up, and I think interest rates will go up behind it, which is a perfect environment for money to rotate out of stocks and bonds and into our commodity type investments. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys listening. This is Finding Value.